1 baby, 2 babies, 3 babies.
You know, it's funny, that's true. I think in society is the norm for women to keep having babies, and they start at a very young age. And to be honest, I had my first child at age 15.
I had one at 15.
So I do understand, but today we need to really educate them. It is okay to wait. And I'm saying that young women need to wait before they have a sexual relationship. If he loves you, he will wait.
Right. But don't you see, though, that so many girls only have their bodies to attract? They think what they have in their bodies, I'm going to be open between their legs. That's the way to get a boyfriend.
And that's right.
And you got to keep giving it and giving it to keep him.
That's true. That's very true. I mean,
this is a very open show. I hope I'm not embarrassing you.
No, you're not, because it's true.
It's very true, and the truth hurts.
It does. And I think young women need to realize that it is okay not to have the sex.
Of course.
It's okay not to have a baby, but the peer pressure today is just unbelievable. And what I think is that a lot of young women are told by men that, you know, I love you. All you have to do is say, I love you, and they will give it up.
That's right.
And they shouldn't do that.
If you love me, you'll do it.
Absolutely correct. But they should hold out. Women need to hold out and wait. And if he loves you, he will wait.
He will wait.
That's true.
And mothers, they're probably going to get PO'd at me, but moms need to have long sexual talk with their daughters.
They do. And a lot of times women don't want to do it. Moms don't want to talk about it. It's embarrassing. And they don't want to feel like, oh, I may talk about it and now I may lead them to start having sex. Well, you need to educate them, because being a young mother myself at one point, I can tell you, if your mother don't talk about it, you'll learn it in the street.
And you'll learn the wrong things in the street, too.
You'll learn the wrong things in the street. That's absolutely correct.
I was over in London for 10 days, and Stedman Graham was over there with me. And we gave things on HIV. And it's amazing. He does a show called Out of the Box. He works with boys, and like I work with some boys, but I prefer girls. And Stedman and I just had a wonderful time, because we got a lot across to these young kids. Private schools, nice clothes, all of this, but they still had problems.
That's right.
One little girl says, my mommy comes home every night and daddy's waiting for her at the door with a knife.
And when the children see this violence, that's why it just trickles over. And it's just unfortunate, but it does happen. It's
like pouring a glass of milk. You can only put too much in the glass before it runs over.
That's true.
Let's talk about these restraining orders. They're not worth the paper they're written on.
You know, I agree. I think that the restraining order is a piece of paper to be able to show to someone you can't come within a certain length of me. But it really doesn't keep people safe. It just really doesn't. I think a lot of these men need to be incarcerated. I think that they need to be punished for what they do to women. Some women really never recover from the abuse that they are exposed to.
Also, I believe in baggage. When you've been in domestic violence and you do get out of it, when you go into a next relationship, sometimes we carry the old baggage with us.
And you know, Angela, that's true.
And it ruins a relationship before it has a chance to get started.
It really does. But do you know why that happens? What happens is we as women, we are in that bad relationship, and it's just like you just said, we take that baggage into the next relationship, but we don't even give ourselves a chance to heal. We don't give ourselves a chance to know what went wrong, what part did I play in this relationship. But we'll take it into a new relationship, and guess what? We attract another abuser.
Of course, it's codependent.
That's right.
He needs you for some reason, and you need him for the same reason, too.
That's right.
And just codependent with one another. Well, my husband died after the beating I showed you. I'm going to show this photo. Everybody take a good look at this face. This is what I looked like on November the 17th, 1991. This was my last beating. And shortly after that, in February, February, he went in for open heart surgery, and my husband didn't walk out. I didn't want him to die, but I didn't want to live like this anymore either. So what I learned, and this is the way that showed me who I was, I went out on a date. And probably a year later, I'd been a year later, and I sat around trying to figure out who I was, what I wanted, what could Angie do, what can I make a difference with. And I went on a date. This is going to shock my audience. I went on a date, and this guy was he was an older guy, so I figured I was going to be safe. So we went to Annapolis to dinner. And while we're sitting at the table, he took off his loafer. He put his leg up between my thighs, and he was rubbing my thighs. After dinner, I didn't eat anything. On the way home, he slid his hand up under my sweater and said, "Oh, these are real too." But let me tell you what I did that gave me strength. As we're driving down the road, I reached over and I grabbed him in his crotch. his family jewels. And I said, oh, I guess these are real too. So when I got home to my house, he didn't open the door. I opened up my own door, and I slammed the door and broke out the window on his Mercedes-Benz. And I said, that's real too. And he hightailed it down my
sure
street.
He did.
But this gave me power. This is the first time if I would have let him treat me the way he did, I would have gone on dragging myself down. Gee, I let him do that. And for what?
Right.
For what?
Right.
But this gave me strength.
And that's really a great
Quite a story.
Yes.
It's a great story.
It really
but
is.
I found my self-worth right there. You are not going to handle me like that.
That's right. And
I'm
that's
not a
what
hooker.
women need to realize today. That's absolutely correct. Because if we would set the tone in the very beginning, not at the end, not 6 months later.
But you would never have a second date with somebody like that anyway.
But you just never know. You don't know. You just never know.
He was astounded I did that. I shocked myself because I got long nails. So I shocked myself. So how many children do you have?
I have 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl.
Okay. What did they think about the book?
They actually love the book. They've been extremely supportive, and they just feel like a lot of women and men need it. Men have bought the book as well. They have. A lot of men, the men that I have spoken to have told me that they feel that it helps them be a better man.
Cool.
Even though they may not be abusing their woman. But throughout my book, it talks about the importance of how to treat a woman. And also it lets women know what to look for in a good man and the signs of an abusive man.
There are good men out there.
They're wonderful men. They're loyal men. They're
but they're scared
men.
as we are.
They really are because we got a lot of drama. We got a lot of baggage too. And we tend to get in and disrupt people's lives, and we shouldn't do that either because we have not gotten past our bad relationship.
I was talking to a lady yesterday at the gym, and she's a mother-in-law, and she was telling me how her daughter-in-law won't let her see the baby.
See?
And I said, oh, that is so bad. Why? She said, because she just doesn't like the way I do things. Well, that has nothing to do with being a grandmother.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm so glad I did, too.
You know, throughout my book, I talk about the importance. Don't get the children caught up in the drama.
Oh, God, yes. Don't make them take sides.
That's right. That's right. And we do that. We really do. We cut them off from their father, their mother, their family members. And it's just really not fair to the children.
And what I do, too, is in the morning, when you wake up every morning, look in the mirror and say, I love you.
I agree.
I love you. And that makes you feel good all day long because you learn to love yourself and give yourself a huggy.
That's right.
And
That's
start
true.
your day with a hug and I love you.
That's true. That helps build your self-esteem.
Oh, yes.
It really
yes.
does. I had a woman tell me on just yesterday, she was in a relationship with a man and it really turned out to be sour. But at the end of the day, she felt extremely depressed. She felt that all men are bad. She feels that no man will love her, and she is drop dead gorgeous. So I tell her, you know, I told her yesterday, love yourself. Tell yourself constantly that you love yourself and be good to yourself.
But we're always looking at ourselves in an abusive relationship. What's wrong with me? What can I do? What can I do to change things? You know, the American Medical Association says the #1 killer of women is breast cancer. What causes breast cancer? Stress. You're going to eat pies and cookies and ice cream because that's love. Those are hugs. And women are getting these diseases because they're in abusive relationships. Look on the inside.
Starts right there.
It starts in your heart.
It really does.
You don't need a man. Like I was just telling my friend the other day, she said, I'm lonely. I said, for what? She says, I'd love to have a guy to go to bed with. I says, go out and buy yourself a toy. And she looked at me. But it's better to do that than go to bed with somebody who's going to beat you up afterwards.
That's true. That's true. And it's unfortunate that women feel that they are not complete without a man.
Exactly.
You're not
need
complete
a man.
without yourself. You need to love yourself first.
We have everything we need right inside of ourselves. We have a brain. We have a body. But think of yourself first. Like yourself. Respect yourself. Love yourself.
And other people will respect you.
And they'll come back the same way. It's like training a puppy. It all depends on how you're going to train that dog. If that's going to be a nice dog or a dog who's going to bite your hand when you touch him.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct.
You
I
have
agree.
to be correct with yourself, though.
I know, and I think that's the downfall
Yeah.
of everything. And what leads to this abuse is because people really just don't love themselves. If they did, they wouldn't accept a lot of this abuse.
Yeah. Because I can be in Walmart and I'll see a man grab the basket from the woman and run off with it. She says, where are you going? None of your damn business.
That's right. That's right.
That's what he says to her in the stores, you know. It's not your damn business. But she's there. She's half of him.
Right. She's half of him, and she's accepting that behavior, and that is our problem. If we realize that that's not normal for a man to talk to us that way, we would change. So we have to love ourselves.
But if we don't have the self-esteem, like you say, and love, you're not going to love yourself.
That's
you're going to keep taking that stuff, and it's
over
wrong.
and over again. It is wrong.
This is a topic I could really get on.
I know.
But just grabbing that guy in the crotch, I tell you, that made my day.
I know it did.
It did. I shocked the guy to death. So I'm not saying if you're going out with a guy and he treats you bad, grab him in the crotch. Don't, no. But look for men who you think who are going to look for you.
That's right.
No codependent people. You're not a car.
Right.
You don't go through a lot of them until you get the right one.
That's true.
But if we need moms to sit down and talk to us too.
You know, we really do, and moms don't, because guess what? Mom have issues too. And if the mother has an issue, she doesn't have anybody to talk to, and she thinks this is a way of living, she's not going to teach her daughter. And that's why a lot of these daughters are in these codependent relationships.
See, I watched my mother and father fight. And my mom died at 51 from alcohol. So she was the most miserable lady in the whole world. And she took it all out on me. I was the one that she would always come after the hit, come after the hurt. Put cigarettes out on the inside of my arms. Because she says, one day you're going to grow up and you're going to be very personal. I said, personal? She said, yeah, you're going to keep things inside. I said, Mama, what are you hiding? You're still fighting with Daddy. And I'm 8 years old.
And see, she took that out on you, but she was taking it out on the wrong person.
She was taking the anger out on me that she wanted to give to him.
That's exactly correct.
And
this is what's going on in the homes today. And women and men don't want to talk about it, but it needs to be talked about.
It needs to be talked about. I mean, men can talk about cars and racing and all this kind of thing. Get a room full of guys and talk to them.
Right.
Wonder what they would say. I'd love to be a little mouse on a chair.
Too.
Wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
And I wouldn't grab any of them either.
I agree. But today we need to realize
that we've got two great books up here. I liked yours, The Red Flags, and that is very, very good. In fact, when I saw the picture of the young man, he reminded me from a distance of President Obama.
Oh, really?
Yes, he did.
Do you know why I have those two people,
why?
beautiful people on the book? It's because looks can be deceiving. And so I want people to pay attention. Just because he looks good doesn't mean he's a good man.
And just because she's beautiful, she may not be the greatest woman around.
That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct.
So, I mean, it's different in life. It really is different in life. You just don't know what you're trying to have in your life. Everybody wants a good life, and we all can't have it.
That's true.
So I've just got the last cue. Our time is up.
Okay, good.
You're so agreeable. Charlene, I've had the time of my life here with you, and I hope you've enjoyed this. I bet people have.
Oh my God.
This has been wonderful. I'm so glad. I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope I didn't offend anybody, but what I say, I stick to. Wait until next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.